last week or so. She has made so many points as to things to look at, and this does not mean everything is a fact. No, this is just basically we have to dig deeper and look past what we see, right? We have to kind of ask these questions and everything else. And I love the way she does that because she asks questions. She never accuses anybody of anything. And I'm going to try to do the same bit. I am no way as good as her, and I'm not. This is just going to kind of add to what she has done, how she's done things, like what she's tried to point out to people, basically. So that's what this video is for. So I know a lot of you have heard of conservatorships before. And a lot of you may know what a conservatorship is. Some of you may not. Okay. So basically, if you do know what a conservatorship is, just put a thumbs up. If you do not, put a thumbs down. Okay. So basically, a conservatorship is okay in many cases, right? You have a family maybe that may be older, maybe you have to take care of them and make medical decisions for them, legal decisions. Those are okay. Those things happen, unfortunately. That's okay. And usually people that are in that position, the people that are in charge of the conservatorship, they aren't nasty people. They do not try to control like every single part of what they're doing. These people usually are family members that are just trying to take care of other family members and trying to help them. So basically, I have nothing against conservatorships in that sense. Now, let's get to unjust conservatorships. Anybody, can you mention an unjust conservatorship that you've seen in the public eye lately in the last 10, 20 years? I can name at least 3 off the top of my head. One lady, I don't know her name. So if you're in the chat, name a couple of conservatorships that you've seen in the last 10 to 20 years. Brittany, yes, Chrissy, Britney Spears, exactly. And I'm going to be using a lot of her examples as one. Chrissy, good to see you. Chrissy, if it's okay, I'm going to make you a moderator. Because I trust you, girl. So, anyway, let's see. SMYW, I don't know who that is. And hey, Mr. Sleepy Man, good to see you. So, unjust conservatorships. All right. Unjust conservatorships are usually done in such a backhanded way to where somebody wants to just completely control a person because they want what they have, right? They could be jealousy. They want to control that person. They want to control that person's narrative, right? So at the time, whenever the Britney Spears conservatorship was going down, what if I told you guys, do y'all remember whenever she got that 5150 called on her? Do y'all remember that? If you do, put a thumbs up in the chat. If you don't, put a thumbs down. So basically, whenever she had the 5150 called on her, she had already had her 2 kids. She was with a stupid Federline, right? Don't like that guy. And they were already not living together. They were working on basically getting a separation, a divorce at the time. And she was called, like a 5150 was called on her, and she had locked herself with her youngest child in the bathroom. What if I told you that was staged? You know, what if I told you that was staged? I have no clue what Felix from Stray Kids is, so you're going to have to elaborate on that. Hey, Apple Krieger, good to see you. So she had locked herself in that bathroom with her youngest son. Then all of a sudden you see on the news, and let me tell you, that was staged because the news got there minutes before the ambulance. Because guess why? They were called by her mother. Her mother had called. But her parents were already pro conservatorship. Now, what I'm talking about right now, I'm not saying that, Ryan's parents are, right? I'm questionable on the dad. He is getting along great with his mom right now. I don't know. All I know is that anybody can have issues with their parents at times, right? And granted, if that's what happened, if there was money stolen, but according to what's coming out right now, they actually staged her. Somebody staged her, as far as, being the one looking guilty. And I'm sorry, but any of you who are not thinking outside the box here with all of it, have you never thought that maybe, just maybe his mom was in on it the whole time? Okay, Ryan is an out of the box thinker. We all know that. Okay? But not only is he an out of the box thinker, I can guarantee you that man knows devolution. I can guarantee you that he goes and he picks up anything at all. Like, if he needs to learn something, I guarantee you he'll pick it up. Anything. I can guarantee you Ryan has probably read The Art of War at least 2 to 3 times. I guarantee you. So what makes y'all think, and I'm not saying that this is true, you guys, I'm not, but what makes y'all think that maybe, just maybe, she wasn't in on doing this and putting up a show at the beginning, right? To where she could find out and dig up dirt and people be comfortable around her talking shit about her son. People could be comfortable around her acting like who they really are, which are pieces of shit. How can you not think about that? Right? And I'm not saying that that's what happened, but it's a possibility. You don't know. You don't know. And the other scenario is, what if, it was staged to make it look like she did it? We don't know that. We don't know. And as a fan base, I think all of us are very protective of Ryan, right? I know I am. I never met the man. Probably never going to meet him, except for I've seen him in concerts, right? But I've never, actually met him. Probably never will. But, I love his music. I think he is a good man. And, where I'm at right now, what I'm having a hard time with is people putting their opinion out and not saying the other possibilities of what it could be, of what's going on. As far as the whole stuff with his mom. They just either have one opinion or the other. And there could be so many more opinions than that. There are so many different things, scenarios that we have no clue, right? We don't know. We are not there. We are not up church. We don't know. So I think there's a lot of judgment being passed. And I don't think that's okay. Exactly, Apple Craig. You've heard a lot of things. And I'm sure a lot of these things, especially here lately, have been negative. How many of you guys have heard really negative things lately? If you have, put a thumbs up. If you haven't, put a thumbs down. you know? So I have been a fan of Ryan's music. I say I'm a baby cricker, but actually it goes back to like 4 years ago, right? And I just came on social media, my husband and I, Stoner Man, within the last year. And we avoided social media before that. Like, you know, whenever I was selling cars, I had to be on social media. Yeah. But after I stopped selling cars, I stopped being on social media because I know what it can be like. We both know what it can be like. So, exactly. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Y'all are hearing really negative things. How can true fans and true supporters of Ryan, how can they just go and say negative things without putting other scenarios out there? That makes you question, why is this happening? Why is this happening right now? What is going on? Now, y'all missed probably the beginning where I gave a shout out to Mountain Girl. If y'all are not subscribed, I know Apple Creek, I know you are. Chrissy, I would highly suggest you subscribe to her. I'm going to share her channel on my YouTube. But she's been talking about some different scenarios. Now, she never accuses. She just asks questions. She does say possibilities. And one thing I think that she is hitting on the head is the conservatorship. It's like they all fell at dominoes at a certain point, right? Like she says, they all started turning against him at a certain point. And what about, the text messages? All these quote text messages. Okay. Has anybody thought about his phone was missing? And somebody else had access to his password. And they could be sending those texts. And I'm going to tell you right now, even if you are, from the other side, if you go back and you watch this later, I'm going to tell you right now that what you've got right there is not going to hold up in a court of law whatsoever. It's not. You know why? Anybody can change a contact name on their text messages and say, look, this person sent it to me. This is what they were saying. They were talking bad about their wife, the mother of their child. They were making threats. Oh, I'm so concerned about him, And no. If you were really concerned, first of all, if you were really concerned about him, you would have told him straight up right then and there, dude, something's going on. Just like so many people are saying right now. Well, like, why didn't you say something? Just Doing has mentioned that. Mountain Girl's mentioned that. But they didn't. They just in the text message, oh, okay. Yeah, bro. What kind of friend are you if you're going to not call somebody out whenever something's going on crazy, right? Oh, well, maybe I should have said something before, but I am now. Because there is something behind you saying that and having these text messages now. That's why. That's exactly why. And all of this is opinion, you guys, it's just opinion, But I do believe, the industry is behind this. And I believe that they have tried. This isn't the first time that they've tried it with Ryan. I think that they have tried, for years. And it started off with maybe just a few people. And then they realized that they couldn't get him to do what they wanted to do and sign and all sorts of stuff. So then they went to artists. Hey, I scratch your back, you scratch mine, right? Then they went to people closest to them. like the meeting in the parking garage. That's shady, right? You know, you think about all of those things, and how can you, knowing that, how can you know that and then go to somebody else's channel and listen to somebody saying, well, we were either lied to then or we're being lied to now? How could you listen to his music and not understand that that man has an incredible mind, and he knew that he was going to have to fight mainstream industry? He knew it. He knew it. Mainstream music, he knew. How can you not know that by listening even just to his music? You know? How can you? He says that he's going to have to go up against him, correct? In his lyrics, put a thumbs up if you've heard that in his music before. You know? Exactly. His music tells us everything. Exactly, Chrissy. Exactly. I'm going to pin that message. Okay. Anyway, so that if you aren't really truly a fan of his music, then that makes sense. And I'm not accusing anybody of anything at all. I'm not saying that people are not truly fans or whatever, but I am really beginning to question. Really beginning to question. If you have listened to his music and you know that he has had to fight the music industry, okay? And what is that going to entail? Is that going to entail people going undercover? You know? Is that gonna tell you that he can't tell everybody everything out in the public? Which would not be smart, by the way. Listen to Flamin' Halo. I've sent someone to you. Who do you think he's talking to? You know? And so if you know this about Ryan, and we're not even talking about his videos that he does on his own content that he provides on YouTube. We're not even talking about that. But let's go ahead and get into that. Even from watching those, you can already tell he's an out-of-the-box thinker. You can tell that he has an incredible mind. He really thinks about stuff. Doesn't mean everything he says is correct. No. But he wants people to be able to think for themselves. And to think. And if you are such a fan and your content is about him and about drama and whatever, right? And you've always sided with him, now all of a sudden it's different. Why? That is the question. Why? Apple, I followed him since 2017, and what's happening now isn't new, just bigger and nastier. 100% Apple. Absolutely. That's why I believe that this has been going on for years. It started off with a few people, and mainstream music couldn't control him, couldn't get him to sign. So they decided to try to, like, get people in there. Plants, mind you. Plants purposely placed to where they could become friends with him and get any kind of dirt they could on him or fabricate dirt on him to make him look like either A, he's on drugs, which he's not, B, that he is crazy, which he's not. The dude has been the same dude this whole time. And I've heard so many of these people that are now telling other things, saying he has been the same dude the whole time. And now they're switching it up. Why? Chrissy, the thing that people think is wrong, I think Ryan does it on purpose to help people think. Exactly. He wants people to be able to think for themselves, you know. Hey, Canada, good to see you, bro. So he wants people to be able to think for themselves, because look at society. Look at it right now. How many people, whenever you're out and you're away from your home and your property, do you think to yourself, people have lost their ever loving minds and common sense? Raise your hand if you've been there, or put a thumbs up. I know I've been there, and it seems to be getting worse and worse. And I think that he really does try to do this for his fan base, because he wants them to be able to be able to think about devolution, to be able to think outside the box, to be able to, hey, you never know what's going to happen in the world and in life. And these are skills that, you can use. And if you don't have to use them, great. But if you need to, they're always there. Hey, Jody, good to see you, bro. So I'm just a little frustrated, and this is just to kind of add to Mountain Girl's, live she's been doing. Any of you know about signs of people trying to put victims in unjust conservatorships? If you do, list a few of them. I'll go into that next. Ryan Apple says, Ryan is much like my brother, highly strung and very intelligent. People mistake that. Exactly. I have a brother that is the exact same way. He is not on drugs. Never has been. The dude is just too freaking smart. Like, he is way beyond smarter than me. And he just literally, like, he could be sitting there in a car. Like, I've had this happen where I'm taking him to go get something to eat, and the dude is sitting there bored. Like, he has to be drumming or something. Like, that's how those people are, dude. Like, this is one thing that people don't understand. So, Upchurch has only ever tried to help people. He's only ever tried to help artists. He's only ever tried to help people in general. And, yeah. So some signs of conservatorship, and I did a video about this like 8 months ago. But an unjust conservatorship, basically it's kind of crazy, because it's, you look at it from the outside view, and you can see what's going on, what they're trying to do to Ryan. It's like they're trying to do that. So you'll have people that want a piece of his pie, people that want to be able to control him and to be able to control his narrative, because you know what? He's dangerous. Because you know what? He teaches people to think. And they don't want people to think. They want mindless drones to keep buying what they're selling. That's what they want. So, that's just what I believe. That's my opinion. That's, but some signs here of an unjust conservatorship. You have somebody that's wanting to control somebody. They want us. They don't just want, like Trump said, way back. He said, they're not after me, they're after you. I'm in their way. It's the same thing with Ryan. The same thing with Ryan, dude. And they will, in my opinion, they are trying to do this to him to where they can control us. That's my opinion. And again, this doesn't make me right on any of it, you guys. This is just, again, my opinion. And from the research I have done on several conservatorships, I was part of the Free Britney movement, so I knew quite a bit. Now, I will tell you about Britney right now. Britney, honestly believe that they messed her up so bad that she can never be what you and I would consider like normal. And they did that with the lithium, upping and downing her doses with no notice, all sorts of stuff. So, and then working her 14 to 16 hours a day, and not giving her any creative control, because that's what conservatorships do. You have no creative control. They take a piece. Think about an artist, you guys. An artist, whenever they are making music, or they're writers, or whoever they may be, an artist, a painter, it is a piece of you. If you are a true artist, you know, if you are a true artist, that's a piece of you coming into art, basically. A piece of you that you were giving to the people. It's a piece of almost like your soul, in a way, and your heart. And whenever people are put in conservatorships like that, that is controlled. They cannot put out what they want. If they want you to put out a shallow song, by God, that's what you're going to do. Let's see here. Catch up on the chat. There's not, Jody, there's not going to be able to control France, because if Ryan goes, we stop being around it. That's plain and simple. 100%. Same here. Same here, Jody. Same here. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, like, I already know, I don't know this because, again, I don't know Upchurch, whatever, but I know that that man is extremely intelligent, and I know that this man is 10 steps ahead of them at all times. So I think he's already thought about all this. And I think he has fail-safes in place. And I think that this is truly what I think. I really believe this. And I believe that he only lets out to the public what needs to be out to the public at certain times, because he is playing chess, motherfucker. He ain't playing no fucking checkers. He knows. He knows who he's dealing with. He knows. And the reason why he poses it like questions, this is just my opinion, the reason why he poses it as questions, because, you know, maybe he does have the full proof of whoever is doing everything, right? But he poses it as questions because, first of all, legal things have not happened yet. And you don't ever want to give somebody your battle strategy. Correct? That's just common sense. So these people saying, well, he lied to us then, or he lied to us now, or, you know, something about him lying. No. Think about that. Think about when the phone went missing, and all of a sudden they have all these text messages from, quote, Ryan, end quote. And like I said, those text messages are not going to hold up in court of law. Anybody could put a name on there. So y'all need to think about this stuff. I mean, I'm not talking about y'all in the chat. I know all of y'all that I can see right here in the chat. I know y'all have already thought of this. But this live is for anybody who doesn't think about that. And they may be very sweet people. But, you know, being followers for years of Ryan. And then you've got a couple of content creators that they're like, oh yeah, Ryan. And you're like, yeah, I'm Creek Squad. I'm going to support that person. So you go and you're watching them, and then you become a fan of their channel because you're like, this person's so sweet and everything else, and just love this person, right? And then all of a sudden, they switch gears, and then these people fall in line with that content creator. Why? It's like you made it yourself more of a fan of the content creator than you did the actual man that led you to the content creator. So I'm all over the place, you guys, but that's my opinion. Another sign of somebody being put in an unjust conservatorship is you're going to have a lot of false flag events. You're going to have staged events. Like I talked about the Britney thing earlier. Now, I believe at that time, she was not what she is now. Okay? I believe she was actually normal. But they will purposely, and this is another thing that the cons do. I'm going to call them cons. What they will do is they will purposely get out that, hey, People are working on a conservatorship for you. So then that person feels alone, separated from everybody. They don't know who the fuck to trust. That's exactly what they did with Brittany. They even got her husband against her. This is why she was separating from him, because she knew she couldn't trust him anymore. You know? And, you know, so you just got to think about that. So what happens from that? Okay, so they're wanting you to feel alone and everything else, so you can't trust anybody and, you know, whatever. And so what do? They go and they pick that apart. Look, that person's being paranoid. Paranoid, I say. No. No, that person's not schizophrenic because they have been literally made to feel that way. Literally. Let's see. Canada says you're absolutely right. We quit buying their stuff and listening to their music. We get upset and start throwing. Exactly, Canada, Jody. Absolutely. And that was in response to Jody there. Jody, church plays chess, that other side plays with men's chess and girls. 100%. And men's undies too. I guarantee you. You know, there's definitely some Diddy stuff going on over there. So, paranoid is a good Def Leppard. Exactly, right? Right. Totally. You know, but they do that on purpose. They do that on purpose, and then they take these little clips and they keep on putting it out to the public for everybody to see. Like whenever Brittany shaved her head. That was a cry for help, but it was a cry for help because she knew she was being put in a conservatorship. She knew she had her parents against her. She knew, and I'm not saying Church's mom is against him by saying that. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying in Brittany's case, both of her parents were against her. Her own husband, the father of her children, was against her. She knew it. Now, I think Brittany was emotional, you know, so she didn't know how to handle that. Luckily, Church is more logical, and he kind of knows her game and knows how to think and knows what to do. And some stuff he'll do on purpose just to kind of fuck with the other side, I think. That's my opinion. But, anyway, so that's one thing they'll do. Another thing they'll do is they'll blackmail. They will blackmail. Oh, well, you know, if you don't start, you know, stop defending yourself here, I'm going to put this and this and this out. Who does that sound like? Right there. I made that video 8 months ago. Who does that sound like right now? And again, this is not accusing. This is just my opinion. Y'all put it in the chat. Exactly, Chrissy. He studied the past. See, and this is one thing people don't understand about Ryan. You think that man just woke up as like, oh, hey, I'm gonna make music. Yeah, he probably did, but you know what? He decided to study the industry. He decided to study and go back and look at documentaries and research and everything else about it. Exactly, Apple. You know, they'll push wedges between family and friends to isolate. Absolutely. So another thing I'm going to speak on, and I really don't give a shit who I piss off. I don't care. But I'm going to call it like I see it. Another content creator making comments about Ryan's story about him talking about President Trump. Oh, you know, I don't know what happened to him, but he just made no sense there. Okay. Again, do you not listen to his music? His music is full of double, triple, quadruple, sometimes more tundras. And how can you not get his stories of what he was talking about with President Trump? How can you not understand that? How can you not understand that, yeah, you know, not everything is black and white. Sometimes you got to do this to make people think this, to do that. Again, he's just trying to help people, trying to teach people to think and not automatically have a closed mind, you know? And he's like, well, I think he lost his mind, or whatever it was that content creator said. I could be misquoting there, but like, he was definitely implying that there was something wrong with church and that he was on some stuff. And that is fucking bullshit. That is fucking bullshit. And how dare all of you? Shame on all of you. I don't care. I don't care what y'all think of me. I don't give a shit. This man needs you the most right now. And look at what you've done. Shame on every single one of you. And this does not make it true at all. What I'm about to say, this is just my opinion. I think these people were paid and not by Upchurch. I said it. I don't care. And anybody from the other side that, you know, like wants to go and share this shit with anybody, I don't care. Go ahead. It's my opinion. It doesn't make it a fact. We have no proof of that. But whenever you see so many patterns out there in the world and with things going on and past conservatorships and music industry tactics and everything else, it is common sense. So anyway, you guys, I just wanted to hit on those few things. I've been fired up about this for a while. One of the main things I have always been against, pretty much almost my whole life, is unjust conservatorships. And Britney Spears is one, yes, definitely. Another one, Vanessa Williams. Now, it's kind of questionable for a lot of people with Vanessa Williams, right? Because she looks, you know, like her cognitive everything, whatever. But what if I told you that it was not her parents, not her husband, not her kids, not her friends, not her family that expressed concerns and put her in a conservatorship? What if I told you it was a bank? And I'm going to give y'all a little, you know, breadcrumb to follow. Go and look up who's in charge of her conservatorship. And they took her to a place in Florida, which she might have had a little. Now, I know according to this test, she had something, right? It was some sort of dementia. I cannot even remember what it was at this time. But she went into a rehab facility. And they did this test on her, but this test isn't even scientifically accepted. And that's how they got the conservatorship on her. Have y'all seen videos of her crying out her window saying she hadn't been able to leave her damn apartment? Dude, that, like, the unjust conservatorships, unjust, mind you, unjust, like that, those are human rights violations. And to me, they equate with, you know, slavery. So, gotta catch up on the chat real quick. 2 weeks before Sheriff got fired and met with Bunny, he was saying that IG was broke and thinking about selling the truck and all of a sudden. Exactly. Where'd that new truck come from? Exactly. Ambrose strong, dude. Ambrose freaking tough, man. I'll tell you. I haven't watched all her stories yet today, but she's like, "Are you Ambrose tough?" on one of her stories, and I'm like, "No, but I'm trying. I'm trying. I ain't as tough as her." Seriously. 2 new trucks, really, Jody? Interesting. And like y'all, I mean, y'all are all, like, everybody I see in the chat, y'all are intelligent. Y'all know that stuff, right? Where's that money come from? There are always tail signs. And people are dumb because they go and they show those signs. Look at Federline. Oh, he was rocking all sorts of new stuff, and he didn't even have child support. He didn't even have spousal support yet. How was he affording his lifestyle in that house? Exactly. We are in slavery debt. Absolutely. We are as people. 100%. I agree with that. And that needs to change too. But absolutely, all of us are on one mindset with all that stuff. And I really hope things are going to change. I'm still being open minded with Trump and everything else. I do believe he's done a lot of great things. There's some things I don't like, but I've thought about other thinking outside the box. Like, what if, right? And does not mean this is true. What if Epstein is really alive and he's got him over there somewhere and he's just waiting to like bring him out? We don't know. We don't know. Again, not everything is black and white, and you can't always tell everybody everything, and it's not you're trying to lie, it's you were trying to take down maybe a giant. Listen to no trespassing. So, oh, people don't want to believe we're being exchanged on the stock market. Oh, I know, right? And those people are the same people that, like, those are the same people that, like, I hate to say this, but like are like fence sitters. Like they go with whatever. Like uh-huh. I like this music. I like this music because it's just about the music. No, it's about more than the music. Everything's about more than the music. But anyway, you guys, I've already been on here almost 45 minutes. I did not expect this many in the chat. Y'all have any questions, anything, put it on here. I want to just give y'all all a shout out. Thank y'all for joining in, everything else. And I hope y'all have a wonderful day. And just think about what all Ryan has given us, right? His fans, he's trying to help us think outside the box. He's trying to help us to, chase our dreams, right? The only nightmare I got is of people not dreaming, right? The man has always been kind and tried to show kindness, and that is something that's never changed as well. All right, you guys, I will see y'all around.